He's gained an empathy that few can know by having held every position in a dealership and been inspired by those around him who challenged him to greater success. For example, years ago, he was talking with his landlord. He told the landlord, "I hope to grow up to be just like you one day." Because you see, the landlord was a very wealthy man. The landlord said, "Son, you will never make it selling cars. I'll have this place back in 6 months." But 6 months later, it was our dealer who ended up buying this property from his landlord. Last year, he sold nearly 1,400 cars. The executive director of his state association says he embodies all that is good in small business and in America today. One customer says he doesn't just sell cars, he gives people who've had financial difficulties an opportunity to rebuild their self-esteem, their dignity, and their worth. And while we don't think it scored him any extra points with our judges, his account manager made sure to say he's also quite handsome in her recommendation letter. He remains determined to make new strides in the automobile industry, becoming one of the first 10 dealers in his state association, to obtain the Certified Master Dealer designation. He is a person who also exceeds the expectations in his community and wholeheartedly believes in what he's doing. The story goes like this. One year, he needed an out-of-state inspirational singer and speaker for a youth fundraiser he was coordinating. At first, the speaker was concerned that our dealer would not be able to cover the $2,000 or so worth of expenses that it would take to make the trip without some type of guaranteed payment. Being that it was a fundraiser, the dealer couldn't pay him, but asked the speaker to have faith, and he would receive. So the speaker made the trip anyway. An offering was collected, but in the end, the speaker received just $700, only about a third of the cost of his trip. Several weeks later, that same speaker's car stopped running, and he sent out an email to everyone on his list asking for their prayers. Within just a few minutes, his phone rang. It was this dealer asking to meet with that speaker. When they met, the dealer surprised the speaker with a new Lincoln, saying he simply wanted to fulfill his first promise to the speaker of asking him to have faith. Today, that speaker's traveled over 100,000 miles in that Lincoln, and that dealer is receiving this evening's highest award and recognition in the used motor vehicle industry. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner of Frank Myers Auto Sales in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the NIADA 2006 National Quality Dealer of the Year is Mr. Tracy Myers.
Wow. That's actually a quote from my one-year-old daughter. She doesn't have much of a vocabulary, but wow. she's got that down pat. And this little dude right here said he's been wanting to get up on the stage all night, so he's here with me. First of all, I'd like to thank God, because without God, nothing is possible. But with Him, everything is possible. You know, I'm seldom at a loss for words, but there are a few people that I really would like to thank. First and foremost, other than God's my wife. Anybody in the car business knows that 12 and 14-hour days away from home is not easy. And she has rarely said anything to me about that. She's always supported me. And she told me, we were actually sitting right in there about 6 years ago, and we were here at this banquet, and she said, "You are a quality dealer." Yeah. She said that six years ago. And I thank her for that, and for all that she's done for me, and just the support that she's given me. Wow. Yeah. You know, it's rare in life, I think, for somebody to get to thank people that really mean a lot to them in their lives, mentors, family members. Unfortunately, they wait until it's too late. But I couldn't do any of this if it wasn't for the support of my father, because he has been my mentor through my entire career. My dad's old school military guy. I call him a screamer. But I got to say I wouldn't change a thing about the way, I wouldn't change a thing now about the way that he brought me through the dealership, starting in the detail shop. And I said, "Why am I in the detail shop?" He said, "One day you'll understand." And I just wanted him to know, while he's here and my mom's here, that I understand now. And I love you.
Well, here's the song Frank Myers Auto says. Here's a Winston-Salem, and all here is Winston-Salem, and all the cars, Mabel, and serve, and oh.
Everybody rides.
Everybody rides.
And if you want to know the marketing secrets that they were talking about in the interview, this is it right here. So that's obviously one of the commercials that we've done. I'd also like to thank our state association. I may be a little biased, but I think they're the best state association that there is. And the first conference that we came to, we knew nobody because we weren't involved in the association. And we actually had Jim Edwards and Karen Barbie. They met us at the airport. They didn't meet us here. They were there, and they picked us out, and they held our hand through that first conference and showed us where everything was at. And we didn't bring ties or anything to that first conference. And they said, "Come on in anyway." And we thank them for that, and thank the NIADA for all that they do for us. And I look back on this with great honor and wish that I had prepared something to say. But nonetheless, I thank every one of you, and I promise that I will represent you proudly. Thank you.